class, like the brother mentioned about that class between Esau and Jacob. That's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing the elect of Jacob rise up against the oppressor. Esau, the so-called white man. Tell this man to his face that Yahweh Shai is coming back and take him out of power, man. That's going to initiate what we're about to read. Go ahead.
Come. And made no account of his labors. Come. It's Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Yo, so when Yahweh Shai pops up, like we just read, he just comes to the astonishment. Saying it's 13 to all that dwell upon the earth. I don't know if we did read that, but it's just saying it's 13. Yahweh Shai, when he pop up, it's going to be a marvelous event, a glorious type event that was not expected. See that? But what initiated that was the prophets coming out and proclaiming that, hey, Yahweh Shai the King is coming. Take down his current throne, man. So when they see this, then they're going to know that this was actually a reality. It was a fact. And they ain't going to know what the fuck to do, man. All our enemies, you know, begin with the top and least of Esau, Edom, they know that Yahweh Shai's coming. But when they show up, it's going to be more than what they expect. See?
Come. Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Yeah, that begins with the prophecy. You know, but it pretty much escalates until Yahweh Shai actually popping up. Revelation 11 chapter. When he rose up out that dead estate, right? Great fear fell upon those who saw us raised up. You see that? Good.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Yeah.
So far beyond all that they look for.
So far beyond. Nobody suspects the Hebrew Israelites, these so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans on the street corner with dresses on, as they say, hey, to be beamed up in so-called UFO. But this is all set up really to glorify Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. It's unbeknownst to you people out there, but we know exactly what the Lord is doing. See? You're going to see men be raised up and be changed to what immortals, going up into spaceship. And again, Esau knows that. That's why he come out with commercials like the Nike commercial. Yeah. The leg. Because they know. They know that what we teaching is true, man. But that whole objective is to stop what's transpiring. They want to stop biblical prophecy. But they're going to find it and they can't do that, man.
This is 2nd Ezra 13, starting at verse 30. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another. It's like, start at verse 29. 2nd Ezra 13 and 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
Yeah, Yahushua going to come as a surprise to those that dwell on the earth. Feeling Wisdom of Solomon 5th chapter, Revelation 11th chapter, great fear.
Okay, Colonel, I got one for you. Going into basically that change. You know, this is Jeremiah 51. Verse 20, it says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war." Yeah, because the brother was going into that strangeness. And a part of that strangeness is going to be that change that the Lord brings unto his people. Hey, Jeremiah 51 and 20. "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kings."
And it starts spiritual first, with the word going up, see? But it's going to come a point in time with some fists are going to become hunters. And which will literally come with.
Jeremiah 16 and 16. "Behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, and they shall fish them. And after will I send many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks."
Right, so right now we're fishing for the elect. We're throwing out a word which is equated to bait. And you got a lot of, you know, bad coming in, a lot of bad fish being dragged in with the net. You know what I'm saying? But you also got the elect there. And we're fishing for. So when the fishing is done and the elect are gathered, then it's gonna come a time that you're gonna be changed, and then we're gonna be turned into hunters. Going where the brother's going into. But right now it starts with the word. Like even like Jeremiah said, I would put my words in their mouth, and pretty much I would, cause you to destroy kingdoms. Rough paraphrase. That's what's happening right now. That's why you see all these kingdoms falling because of what we're speaking. But again, it's going to transfer onto the physical when we get those literal powers to go and break these nations in pieces. Just like you see on Brightburn, man. You know that movie Brightburn. At the end, he went tearing down these different, buildings and shit. That's going to be the elect. So, yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 12, and I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, and you shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire.
Yeah, this ain't talking about it in the physical sense right now. Everything is spiritual. This is what we're doing just by words, man. Destroying doctrines, destroying beliefs, false religions. See that? That's why can't nobody gainsay when we teach. That's why people like Genesis, anyone preaching a Gentile can make it. Doctrine gets confounded by the scriptures. See that?
It says, and burn their groves with fire, and you shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place.
Destroy the names. Buddha, Jesus Christ, God, Allah. Those names ain't confounded. See that? Because their teaching doesn't foretell future prophecy. See that? Their gods can't do that. Only Yahweh Shema Shah is able to foretell the true future of what's coming down the pipe, man. So that's being done by the way of words. Was it Jeremiah 29:23? It's not my word. I will make my words and not my fire. These people would and they shall consume it. Something like that. Rough paraphrase. But that was people.
Yeah, I got two quick ones. I'll start out at 49 because the brother had brought out that it's going to be a great judgment coming against Jake. Like, Esau really going to bring that heat against the ones that believe in Yahweh Shema Shah.
This is Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the east to the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come like a flood. The spirit of the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, shall lift up a standard against him.
Because it was going, the brother was going into the fact that, it starts spiritual. Yes, this is a spiritual thing that we're doing now, but it's going to come to a point that the Lord he's going to turn it up a notch, and he's going to activate that next level. That it's going to be, as Esau's bringing forth this great flood that the scriptures bringing forth, and he's bringing forth deliverance, the Lord is going to lift up a standard. Because Esau is actually going to think he's going to be able to get the elect off the planet Earth, man. Because his end all be all is, he understands America's going to be new. That's why they getting the hell out of America. But me and the brother was talking about it before we jumped out of the whip. Did Esau know that the nation of Israel is over here in the bulk, man? So what do they want to do? They want to get Jake nuked over here, man, in the judgment of the Lord, hoping that they can forego prophecy. Nah, man, the Lord is going to lift up a standard, man. So, hey, certain Jakes, when they think the missiles to hit, hey, twinkling of an eye, Jake gonna be taken out of here. This Jake gonna be made into a battle axe of the Lord. He's already been through a fire, man. The Lord is gonna lift up a standard because Esau think that this is just gonna stay right here where it's at, just talking. Nah, man, this is gonna become a physical thing. But it's spiritual. Remember that the spirit goes before all things. So it was said first, before you could even see it. Hey, it was something happening in the midst you couldn't lay your eyes and hand on, but it was working. That's the beauty of the spirit, man, and we trust in it.
I'll read back. You got it, brother. It's Salaki. I'll jump back over to Jeremiah 49. All right. Back in Jeremiah 49:21, it says, "And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and the rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider." Yeah, NLT, it says, "With you I will shatter armies, destroying the horse and the rider, the chariot and the charioteer."
If I may, Scripture speaks about how the Lord should make us a new, sharp, threshing instrument, sword having teeth. Hey, that's in the physical sense. But we're changed, got the new bodies, new Jerusalem coming down from heaven to set up the whole earth. There's gonna be a lot of fucking killing going on, man. You're gonna have superhumans, so-called X-Men walking around, laying down judgments, destroying tanks, Esau's military. Anything you people look at it, it's like, oh, who can fuck with that? The Lord gonna have easy work. The Lord's men gonna have easy work with this nigga shit, man. That's why people are gonna fear. Right? The Lord shall pretty much establish a fear of himself who is men. When they set up and they're pretty much walking through the earth and declaring and pretty much putting down judgments, y'all by small shop, what you got?
I'm gonna jump down to the point. This is Jeremiah 51 to 25 because the brother was going into the missiles ultimately. All right, it says, "Look, O mighty mountain, destroyer of the earth."
That's America. They're high mountains that Isaiah the son of Amos did see in Isaiah 13. You see, that's Babylon. You got it?
All right, it says, "I am your enemy, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Yep.
I will raise my fist against you
That's how it's shot. That right hand.
to knock you down from the heights. When I am finished, you will be nothing but a heap of burnt rubble."
Damn. So, hey, Yahweh Shai is gonna beat you niggas down. That's why the scripture says that the Lord shall beat down his foes. That's the paraphrase. So Yahweh Shai is coming down to pound the wicked, to beat them to shit, to beat them to death, man. That's the Lord destroying America with the thermonuclear fire and also the chariots. The fire from the chariots, man. See? Everything here on America gonna be fucking annihilated by this one entity. Yahweh Shai and his angels. See?
It says, "And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua." And that's what going into what the brother was going into. Hey, it's gonna be nothing but dust, man. Because the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing, going into it, the scriptures tell you that there should be nothing to be perceived but dust and smoke, man. All right, that's gonna be the ultimate judgment of this place, due to wickedness, man. It ain't gonna be perceived like it ain't gonna be no rudiment of the wisdom of America, the wisdom of Esau, the wisdom of this great mountain, man. Matter of fact, if I could read back, it says, "Behold," because I like to read it in the KJV. It says, "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth."
That's why when you read Ezekiel 35, it speaks about speaking against Mount Seir and set thy face against Mount Seir. See that? Most eyes against America.
It says, "Which destroyeth all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and will roll thee down from the rocks." And that's where the scriptures go into five surely slept them and set them in the slippery place. Okay? You wanted to go into it? Yeah, but I've surely set them in the slippery place. Salakia, tongue twisted. But yeah, this is this place was set in the foundation of this place was set in the upon sand. It wasn't on the sure foundation. Why? Because it wasn't set upon righteousness, the law, statutes, commandments, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The people want to make fun of it all day, but that's why the people are mourning. All right, because this place was set in a slippery place, a desolate place. All right, it says, "And roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain." That's the ultimate judgment of this place. Thermal and nuclear fire, man. The Lord shall have all the nations what? Sent round about her to what? Pass judgment upon this place, man. That's why it's gonna be a lake of fire from the west to the east, from the north to the south, man. Yeah. It said a burnt mountain, a burnt government, not to be perceived, like the brother was going into. Nothing but dust and smoke. You through, man. That's the judgment of America.
Yep. That's pretty much, and the Heavenly Father has agreed that you don't want anything that's in America to be remembered. That's why this place is going to become what? A desert land, right? A desert land full of adultery, unclean, adultery creatures, unclean beasts.
Hey, but this spirit, it's like that now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas are unclean and adulterous animals, man. You know, but the Lord just gonna make it like big street towers and shit like that. America was really predestinated for that, man. For nothing but unclean things to go through. You know, that's why the Lord must destroy this place. It's a precursor. Yeah, it's the fire. Spirit, that's why I say what it says Ezekiel the 35th chapter, the land cannot be cleansed by the land that was defiled by the blood that defiled it. So just going back into the miscellaneous space. Yeah, that number 35, you know. Just going back into the miscellaneous space, it's going to be a just action. And ultimately, it's going to put America in this perfect state. You know, even though America is going to be a desert in the kingdom of heaven, but that's going to be its perfect destination. Yeah.
It's gonna have pretty much a perfect memorial. You look at America like, God damn. But this is the reason why this place is like it is, just like Sodom and Gomorrah, man. You know, Lord smoked that bitch with fire and brimstone. But here it is, we got modern day fire and brimstone in the form of what? ICBM. See?
That's the
modern,
spirit.
yep.
Oh, so like, and that's the spirit because it was, like you said, it was a reminder of what not to do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what this nigga did, he exalted what not to do, man. He actually glorified it like, you know, in order for you to get a good job or to be a supervisor, you must be of the world. You know? That's why even the Lord told us to be not conformed to this world, man. But I think the brother Tazabah has something.
Yeah, it's what you had brought up. You had something? Yeah, you bring up.
All
Alright, this is Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for the blood it defileth the land.
Yeah, blood it defiled the land. Because Esau out of order. The Lord tells Esau to do something. Esau gonna do the totally opposite. Because Esau running his own PO, for the lack of better words, man. And it's the reason why the Lord made manifestation a beautiful thing. Because manifest destiny, it wasn't just for GP. No, it was really made for the Lord to repay Esau here in these latter days, man. You got it.
All right, it says, for the blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein.
So the land cannot be cleansed by the blood that is shed therein. So, you know, Jacob black on black crying and Jake killing Esau, Jake getting harmed, it ain't making the judgment of Esau much better, man. It's actually making it much worse. You got it.
Hey, can I read it in NLT for you?
You got it.
All right, I'm gonna read it from the top. It says, this will ensure that the land where ye live will not be polluted, for murder pollutes the land.
For murder pollutes the land. And ain't Esau known as a murderer? Who was the first murderer upon the planet Earth? Cain, which was his forefather. And that's how you know, like, through the spirit, this nigga always come upon the scene. Even though he can hide under these different nations, his actions show what nation he is. You got it, bro.
Yeah, because Cain goes into, how you say weapon?
Quayan. Yeah, like dagger, weapon.
Yeah, so that's Esau, because what was Esau given? The blessing of the sword. You see? It says, for this will ensure that the land where you live will not be polluted, for murder pollutes the land, and the sacrifice, and no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer.
If I may, that's why the Lord said there shall be a sacrifice in Basel.
Right.
You know, so again, it's a necessary evil. You got to realize Yahweh Shai is Melchizedek, Malak Tazadok. So when he come upon the planet Earth and he burn America, that's going to be a spiritual ritual to basically put us in the good graces of the Heavenly Father, man. A spiritual sacrifice, you know. You got, like, even when Solomon, you know, when he first became king, he burnt so many thousands of calves, so many thousands, you know, and ultimately they exalted his rulership to show that, hey, I believe in the Lord. Hey, Yahweh Shemel Shai, this is what I'm doing for you. You know, and the Lord said, what you want, Solomon? You know, he said, so you did all this for me? You know, Solomon, what you want? And guess what Solomon said? We want wisdom, man. Because like it says in Wisdom, Psalm the 7th chapter, man, wisdom let you reign forevermore. So again, us knowing that America is going to be a sacrifice, because that's all it is. Baba Bashar, I'm passing back to brothers, but when it says the facts of goats in Ezekiel, like the 21st chapter, Baba Bashar, get that, read that again, talks about it, in the NLT.
Okay,
and I'm gonna pass it back.
This is Numbers 35, 33. And this will ensure that the land where you live will not be polluted, for murder pollutes the land, and no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer can purify the land from murder.
Yeah, from murder. So guess what? The destruction must happen in order for everything to be clean. You gotta know it.
Book of Isaiah 34:5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, this is, you know, the scripture speaks about how a sword is pretty much sharpened. When you go into Ezekiel 21, that sword ultimately, as we know, is talking about the thermonuclear missiles. And which that point of being sharpened is pretty much from the time of Oppenheimer. You know, you had the atomic bomb, right? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know, and you look at how that sword has been pretty much progressing up to this day. Now you got ICBMs, you got hypersonic missiles, you got what else you got?
Submarine,
You
slow
got
missiles.
cruise missiles and all these things, you know, missiles that can go undetected, they can get here from one continent to another, mighty.
Yeah,
See that?
and it's nuclear fusion, man. So they,
Right.
they ain't splitting atoms anymore. They bringing them together. So nuclear fusion, it's gonna strip your body, man. It's gonna the thing that, you know, that nuclear shadow that they show you from you know, the history books of that happened in Nagasaki and Hiroshima is gonna be 1,000 times worse in this judgment of America, man. In various parts they actually get hit with the missile.
But pretty much like the scriptures is a build up until the time which the missile will be perfected. That sword being sharp. Go ahead, bro. 3
Con. Back to Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judge me.
Yeah, so Idumea is the people of the Lord's curse. Hey, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. So what is Idumea? When you go into the word, it takes you back unto Edom. Now, through historical facts, you find out that Edom was actually ruling Rome. All right, the most corrupt seat of idolatry, the fourth beast, mentioned in Revelation, Daniel 7th chapter. See that? So Idumea is talking about pretty much the kingdom of Esau Edom, which is America today. So that sword, which is the ICBM, is going to come down from an aerial ascent up to America, Babylon the Great for judgment. That's a great deal of judgment right there. You got it?
The sword of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah is filled with blood.
Yep.
It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats.
If I may, and that's the sacrifices that the Lord loves, man. You know what I'm saying? A fatted calf, even when the fatlings of the flock, what Abel brought. Abel didn't bring some BS. No, the vegetables and fruits. No, he brought the best flock. And that's even the same thing with America, man. The Lord is really fatting a lot of niggas up for the slaughter. You know, but again, this is like the best quality nigga to burn, man. The Lord ain't gonna burn them niggas up in England. He ain't gonna burn them niggas up in, well, he is gonna burn some niggas up in England and things like that, in certain places throughout the whole world. But the main sacrifice is gonna be here in Boston, man. You got it.
May 2. Spirit speaks about Jeremiah 50, how America has grown fat.
Yeah,
You know,
good.
fat itself.
And that's the spirit. You know, even during like Passover, or even before Passover, you will pick out a calf.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this gonna be the sacrifice for next year,
Yeah.
because you gotta really predestinate. It gotta have no blemishes and things on it or whatever. But you gotta do what you got.
It says, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah have a sacrifice in Basra.
Basra, that's the capital city of Edom. But today, what does that represent? America, Babylon the Great. This is the place of sacrifice, like the brother mentioned. America ain't nothing but a big fucking altar. These people walking around, and Scripture says that they're gonna be what? Fuel for the fire, man. That's why the Lord fed you up with McDonald's and Burger King and shit. See that? That's why everybody's fucking obese. You know, you think they just by coincidence? No. The Lord fed you up to add more fuel to the fire, man. See that? Okay.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
A great slaughter. All right. Isaiah 14 and 21 goes to that.
I got that right here for you, brother. This look at Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children.
Yeah, who's children? That Esau children, man. If his children be multiplied, it is for what? The sword.
It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of your fathers.
Right. So the Lord layeth up iniquity for you Edomites, so-called white people. But again, you Jakes are going to get called into that as well because you sided with these devils. All right? You got the same mindset as Esau, and you refuse to repent. All right? You refuse to forsake America. So guess what? You're going to suffer the death of an infidel.
Yeah, right. It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land,
Right.
nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Yeah, so they pretty much don't complete that New World Order. These niggas got an agenda of pretty much creating 15-minute cities. Everybody pretty much confined into these small strips, right? And you ain't able to do shit but obey them. If you don't, then you're gonna be pretty much excommunicated and killed. Everybody gonna be chipped. You see? You're not gonna have the freedom to do as you will. Right? So these devils got that plan of the NWO, but guess what? The Most High is gonna interrupt that plan.
Get back the brother up, going into 2/3, joining under Esau. This is Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
You can't say the Edomites, man.
Yeah.
You got a lot of Jake trying to say Esau. Esau can make join hand in hand with these devils, man. Hey, the wicked gotta be punished. That's what America was created for, really. Punish the wicked. See that? So you Jakes who are trying to say these devils, you're gonna find yourself receiving the same fucking judgment.
This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Matter of fact, you saw this 5.
All right, verse 5. In 2nd Ezra 15 and 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world.
Right, because the world was given to who? The Edomites. To the hands of the wicked. They got jurisdiction over what goes on in this earth, man. See? Pursuant to Sirach, the 10th chapter. So is the ruler, so are the people, right? That's why you see corruption spread abroad the 4 corners of earth, stemming from America, Babylon the Great. Yeah.
It says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Yeah, so as we see, man, it ain't hard to see. You got eyes to see that wickedness is running rampant. You got hormones everywhere. You got different ideologies, different gods being worshipped. And it's more than it was on the time of Noah. Pre-flood, man. It is exceeded that. So now when the time was the Lord said, hey, this is enough. That's why you got the prophets out here, man. Put an end to this shit by his words. See that?
They say on last call for alcohol.
Yep. Yeah.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their
There
wickedness.
you go. So the tongue of the Lord is through his prophets, right? That's why we calling all this shit out. See? You got it?
If I could add, if I may, because the brother was speaking towards, hey, you know that at the inception of every nation, the prophets are never out. Why? Because the Lord's like, okay, bet, judgment went out. However the Lord decreed it. You know what? Now I'm gonna give y'all the time to see how y'all gonna set forth how you will establish your government and how you will rule the earth. He give it a time, and then lo and behold, what? The prophets are back out prophesying against this place, man. Because when America was incepted, hey, we couldn't do this. We'd have been put to death and hung, man. Or worse, they'd have made grease of us, It says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely, Salaki, I'm jumping. Verse 6. I'm in the right spot. Verse 8. Yeah, it says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Yeah, wickedly exercise. Because profane means to be outside of the temple. What makes you outside of the temple? By going against the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. All right? America thrives off sin. The establishment of Esau, man. You see that? So the Lord's not going to hold his tongue no more concerning these Edomites' wickedness that they have pretty much pushed forth to America. All the earth is pretty much drunk, like the brother said, last call for alcohol, man. Babylonians are supremely drunk, and you're still drinking at a time like this. Why, man? But everything is coming to its end. You got it.
It says, Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
There you go. So we are the souls of the just, complaining continually. All right? What does it mean continually? Hey, day and night. 24 hours around the clock, you got videos going out. All right? Speaking against Esau's wickedness, homosexuality, perversity, man, abominations with the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. See? the righteous, speaks about how the righteous live, speak of judgment. He speak about what needs to be set up and what needs to be pretty much destroyed. That's Esau and his establishment. You know?
No, it's still more. It says, and therefore thus saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Yep.
That's the Lord delivering the elect, man, delivering the righteous in the midst of that judgment, man. Because let this not go over your head. The judgment that Esau received, hey, the 2/3 are gonna get it, man. You're gonna receive of it as well. They just act like, hey, man, it's just reserved strictly for Esau. That's for you 2/3 as well. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. And that's going back to what the brother was going into, that flock. You got it? It's going back into that flock. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, because it's that great sacrifice that the brother was going into, right? You know, Esau setting Jake up to a point that Jake actually think that all the goodness that they do over here, the Lord is with it when you bless a bum with $10. But here it is, Jake backdooring his home, popping his wife, Jake defrauding the next Jake, committing wickedness that the Lord said that they so wickedly exercise themselves. So ain't nobody making you do that. You choose to do this wickedness. It ain't like Esau, you know, with the fabrics. We're forced to wear mixed fabrics. We ain't got no choice in that. But ain't nobody forcing you to pop another man's rib, man. It says, behold.
I got some real quick just to bag up. Going back into the ways of Esau, bagging up your point, man.
Okay.
This is the book of Proverbs 7, because again, just going to the slaughter. Because the ways of Esau, they push forth like adultery and wickedness. It's something cool. Niggas like Usher, R. Kelly, niggas want to grow to be like him. You know, you pop another man's wife and you make a song about it. Now you get bragging points on it.
Yeah, Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, Mr. Steal Your Girl.
That's all Chris Brown. Hey, man, I fuck with Breeze, but that's all Chris Brown talk about is sex, man. It's like, bro, you ain't got no other topics.
Even Usher and R. Kelly, the same girl.
Yeah, like,
That's sick.
that's sick.
That's sick. And that's why niggas like sharing bitches today. Because of the music you listen to, man.
They fight.
Yeah. Like, words are powerful, though. This is the book of Proverbs 7, and I'm going to start at verse 21. It says, with her fair speech, she caused them to yield, and with the flattering of her lips, she forced them. So again, with the flattering ways of Babylon, Esau is forcing you to go into a way of death, man. You got to realize this place is called the Valley of Shadow of Death, not for no reason. Look at the culture that this people bring. Whether it be Edomite culture, whether it be black culture, man. All that shit is death. Why? Because the white man produced this BS, man. You know, that's why it says, continuing on, he goeth after her straight away as an ox that goeth to the slaughter. Just bagging up what you just brought out, man. Because again, that's like when an ox going to the slaughter, it's going to continue on. It says, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. Because soon as you get into one, for lack of better words, what will happen, you get into a little area that stock will basically lock you in. And now you can't bag out, you can't go in, you stuck. You stuck. So that's what happens when you try to live the American dream. Basically, you get stuck in that death mentality, man. That's why we gotta be blessed to have this truth, because what the Lord say, he that wanted the way out of understanding will remain into the congregation of the dead, which is spiritually the damn slaughterhouse, man. You know?
If I may, just to back brother up. This is Proverbs chapter 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Yeah, if I may, just go into, you know, our true ways, the ways of Yahweh Shema Shah are above the ways of the heathen. And those are the ways we're supposed to adhere to. But it says, but the way of the wicked seduceth him. Going into how, you know, Esau has searched out ways to cause our people to fall and go off, man, which ultimately is going to lead to your destruction.
I mean, that's why America is known as a great whore. And you got to realize, there's a reason why John was basically marveling at that bride, man. Because it was pleasing to her eyes. The bitch was playing tricks on him. Because again, you go over, when you compare this world to the ancient world, what really makes this world greater is the technology. When John was looking into the future, he seen it was nighttime, but lights were still out. It ain't known to be nighttime. You can see lights in the city just burnt up. You know, John seen women with fat asses and women just in the middle of the street. That wasn't normal in the ancient world, man. So when John came here and seen this place, he marveled for a second. And that's how a woman do. You know, you know, for lack of a better word, she covered up. And it be the little things which they sometimes, the bitch turned a certain way and you can see her ankle. You know what I'm saying? But just imagine, she just turned the other way and she just got nothing on the backside. That's the same thing when it was when John seen America. He's like, damn, he did bad. But guess what the angel said? Hey, marvel not. This bitch burning. She finna die. She been coughing. She coughing up blood. You know, she owe a whole bunch of people money. There's a lot of money on her head. And then on top of that, Yahweh Shah coming. So that's why he told John, marvel not, man. Because it's going to be a lot of things, especially here in the latter days, that will ultimately do what? Pull at the flesh. Because that's why John was marveling. He was marveling at the fleshly things. But just imagine if John would have came up here in the spirit and looked at it in the spirit. You know what he would have seen? A big monster with 10 horns on his back, man. Yeah, Medusa.
Right.
Yeah, he was in the garage. But who was riding that motherfucker? A pretty lady. You know what I'm saying? You know, but y'all brothers got it. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a heavy point though, man, because you know, John, he was enticed. That's why the scripture say, Stomach the beautiful woman, man. You know, because America produces seducing philosophy. That's a trap. You know, if you bite on that shit, now you laid over with the bitch, now you burnt. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come out of the ways of America. That's why the Bible set up for. You know, to tell your ass, niggas going off for worse than Christianity. You think that all this can be saved, right? It sounds good, but that shit off, man. That shit off. It sounds good, but it's off.
And the Lord, it's like the Lord is not here for no damn feel-good story for everybody, man. Yeah. The only feel-good story it's going to be for is the nation of Israel. Because tell me what these other nations really need to be saved from, man. Because everywhere Jake go throughout the whole planet Earth, they are persecuted, they are hated, they are killed. You know, I just did a video this morning about how they was sitting in Japan, and there was a Chinese woman saying, go home, go back into your place. Yeah. I did a video the other day about how he was in Elam, in the Taj Mahal. He didn't go into the tourist site, he went to the hood, and they was making fun like, oh, he a Negro. And they was making fun of him, basically fulfilling scriptures of what? Jake being a proverb and a byword, man. Niggas don't know, bro, because when you really open your eyes, you will see why we need to be saved from this world, man. Because why? The wicked rule this world, man. You got to realize that Howard Shah going to live up to his name. You know, Baba Kashab, we brother can't get Matthew 1 and like 11, 1 and 12, when it says, thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shah. And Luke 1 and 21, Baba Kashab. It says, thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shah, for he shall deliver his people, man. So Yahweh Shah, when he come upon the planet Earth, he's not finna come and save all nations. That will make the Lord a liar. The whole, you got something? I got you. Give me a chapter.
This is Matthew 1 and 21.
21?
Yeah, 21. Yeah, Matthew 1 and 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shah.
Yeah, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shah. Now, what does that word Yahweh Shah mean? You know, Yah basically goes back into he, and Howard Shah basically goes back into what? Saves or delivers, man. So guess what? That's an omen known. Yahweh Shah is finna get ready to live up to his name. You got a lot, read it again.
It says, Matthew 1 and 21, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shah.
And thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shah, you got it.
For he shall save his people.
For he shall save his people. So this was from their sins. So this is a prophecy for real, man. So basically they was prophesying that Yahweh Shah was going to save us. He was going to live up to his name here in these latter days. Now who need to be saved more than the black, Latinos, and Native Americans, man? You know, all the things that we're going through, even today. You know, people say, it's back in the old days, what about slavery? Trump basically just waged war upon the Columbus. You know, he basically, I think that was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, he bombed like a fisher boat or something like this. Yeah, what it was? Yeah, he bombed a Venezuelan boat, man. Which ultimately, they are the Israelites, but it was like a fish boat, said, yeah, it was a war on drugs. That don't happen to Elon. That don't happen to Ishmael, these different countries. Why these calamities happen to burn Israel? Because we are those chosen people. So I was shot, give me what you got, huh? Yeah, first started to
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 10. It's like it. This is Daniel 9 and 9. To the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, our powers belong mercy.
Yeah, and to Yahweh Shem Yahushua belong mercy, you got it.
And forgiveness. Though we have rebelled against him.
Yes, because you got to realize the reason why Jake is in this mess up state and need to be saved today is because we sinned against him, man. But guess how merciful our power is? He's still gonna save us, man. You got it?
Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua our power to walk in his ways.
And that's the spirit. It says to actually walk in his ways. Now people are walking into the ways of the so-called white man. Because that's how you be, quote unquote, successful here in this society, man. People don't want to walk out the ways of the Lord. Then you ask a nigga, hey, yeah, brother, you know, you can't get air just no more. Nigga get mad, man. And he'll change the doctrine and wear a hat just for the benefit of his own sake, man. You know, and that's always been an MO, even you going back into Corey and Dayton. Basically, instead of them humbling themselves under the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they wanted to do their own thing. And ultimately, Israel trying to do their own thing, which made us ultimately come into this position that we in today. Because the Lord, he didn't just punish one or two people, no, he let the whole nation go into slavery. And just like in the future time, when the Edomites and these different nations go into slavery, it ain't just gonna be one or two people of the Edomites, no, it's gonna be the whole nation of Edom, man. You got it?
Neither have we obeyed the voice of Yahweh Shem Yahushua our power
Yeah, we broke the laws, you got it?
to walk in his laws, which he has set before us by his servants, the prophets.
Yes, because really the laws, statutes, and commandments, you know, because when you really go into law, it just goes back into a body of prophetic teachings. But once you go into the laws and the statutes and the commandments, that's what really separated us from everybody upon the planet Earth. That's what really made us special. We had standards that were sent down from the heavens that made us better than everybody upon the planet Earth. And these other nations had a sense of jealousy about that. That's why Israel was hated so much, because he was blessed by the Most High. You got it?
Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
Yes, all Israel. And he didn't say just one person. All Israel have transgressed thy law. You got it?
Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
Yeah. And what's that curse that was poured upon us? The curses that was written down in Deuteronomy 28, 15 on down, man. You know, we can actually see that being made manifest today. You got it?
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses.
Yes, because once you read 15 the chapter, it says, if thou don't do these things, this is going to happen. That's that oath. You got it?
The servant of the Most High.
The 28th verse in the 15th chapter, you know, you got it. Like,
come, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us.
yeah, and a part of the Lord confirming his words is him sending us to slavery. And that's how we know that we at in the biblical timeline. You know, because certain things have to be fulfilled in order for us to know. So we already checked off the list. You know, the Israelites, we already loaded. Oh, they did go into slavery. How they get into the West? Certain things is already confirmed with Yahweh Shem Yahushua and show who are the children of Israel. You got it?
Come. And against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
Yeah, by bringing upon us a great evil. You got it?
For under the whole heaven have not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Yeah, so on the whole heaven have not been done that have been done under Jerusalem. Showing what? Nobody need to be saved upon the planet Earth except who? Jerusalem, man. Because these are the people who have been beaten down, trying to spit on, you know, and basically been made low.
The worst. When you go through any history, of course, Esau only wants to make us look at, you know, transatlantic slave trade, but it's many other slave trades that happened prior to. Hey, Egypt was hell, man. The Lord actually had to come and deliver us. It says it hasn't been seen under the heavens in Jerusalem, in Israel, upon us. So the greatest judgment the Lord done brought upon the planet Earth until now, it's been against us, man. It ain't been against this nation, against the earth. It's been against his electing his people, man, his nation. That's a hell of a damn ass whooping. Knowing that, hey man, we got buckrope, we went through chattel slavery, we went through gator bait, understanding what you went through Reconstruction, man. That ain't happening to nobody else but us, man.
Yeah. And who else is synonymous with slavery?
Us.
Yes. You know, back, even you go back to Babylonian captivity, Assyrian captivity, you know what I'm saying? All these things is built to show who else.
If I could add, they love to say, oh, well, you know, the first true slaves were the Slavics. name me the time period in peace then, nigga.
Hey, matter of fact, show me a picture.
Yeah.
Show me a picture when the whip's on your back.
Yeah.
Show me a picture when the yoke of iron on your neck, man. You see what I'm saying? It's evidence to show who we are. And we need to be saved, bro. Now, you won't see no Chinese person like that. Or Elam or Ishmael. These niggas got gas stations, man. You know, niggas living good here. And the reason why, because they bow down into the ways of the so-called white man. You know? You got some real quick. Let me get this real quick. One more thing.
Come. Select.
No, come.
Come. 9. Select. This is Daniel chapter 9 and verse 15. And now, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, our power, that has brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand.
And that's the spirit. And that word Egypt is the representation of what? Bondage. But the Lord said he's going to bring us up out of Egypt with a mighty hand. That put Yahweh Shai upon the scene. You know who these people actually call Jesus Christ. You got it?
And has gotten thee renown.
It has gotten thee renown. Now, when you go into that word renown, we ain't got to go into it, but it basically means famous. Those guys, man. And those guys in the kingdom, you ain't going to be those guys because I got a bad three-pointer. You ain't going to be those guys because, you know, he can get a lot of women. No, you're going to be those guys because ultimately you're going to be righteous, and it was predestined for you to be here. You know what I'm saying? It was predestined for you to be righteous, man.
Giant amongst Israel in that day.
Yeah.
A man of renown, man. You know, great name, man. You know.
Because the men of renown now is LeBron James.
Yeah.
And you meet this nigga personally, like even if you meet like a lot of football players and shit personally, like this nigga Travis Arnold, this nigga nerd, you know.
Cornball.
He's not no true ruler, he's a cornball, but he's a man of renown. In the kingdom of heaven, the men of renown, we're not going to be famous for BS, no, we're going to be famous for righteousness, man. And basically executing judgment upon the planet Earth, you know. Like Solomon. Solomon wasn't renowned because Solomon had the baddest afro. Now, Solomon was renowned because of that damn judgment, man. Say, you know, that baby was right down, say, hey, man, give me that sword, man. They said right then, his kingdom was established, bro. That was a beautiful moment in history, you know? That was, you got to
Come. As at this day, we have sinned, we have done wickedly.
Yeah, we have sinned and we have done wickedness, so we know we went out. Let's move that up. You got it.
Con. Just going back, you know, the Lord's deliverances. You know, the big brother mentioned Egypt. It's Lamentations chapter 3, starting at verse 31. For the Lord will not cast off forever, but though he cause grief, yet will he have compassion according to the multitude of his mercy.
Read it one more time.
Con. Lamentations 3 and 31. For the Lord will not cast off forever.
Yeah, the Lord will not cast off forever because again, our manifest state, when it was going on, manifest destiny, when the natives was getting their ass whooped, the Lord was cast off. The civil rights, when Jake was getting hung in times of slavery, the Lord was really cast out. But he was looking though, man. He went too far away because it was Jake still calling upon his name, man. Because we have a spiritual connection to the heavens, man.
Add to that, brother, to make just to add to his point. And at the same time, Esau was going through with the sword, pushing what? Christianity, because he had to push Jake further and further away from his power. Because Esau was trying to establish him while yet removing us from ours, man.
That's why he came out with the slave Bible. Yeah. And the slave, they said that the Bible about this thick, the slave Bible about 15. It was a short story, man. You know, I think they took passages out of it. You know,
because it brought forth a fighting spirit in Jake, man. All Gad and Reuben had to do was read that. It's like half of the tribe of us, like, man, we gotta do something about this.
Yeah.
You know, Jake been trying to upset prophecy, man.
Hey. Yeah, that's why I'm about to say Nat Turner. When Nat Turner read the Bible, man, he said, you should have vengeance. That was my favorite part of the movie, man. You could tell when he read this scripture, something actually awoke. Because again, going back into your point, into that slave, that Christianity, that slave Bible, you know, they used to get actually to Jake, and Jake used to shuck and jive, but he used to be rare for Jake to really get a Bible, man. Yeah. It got to a point when Jake used to just take little pages here and there just so you can read it and to have faith. A beautiful movie to watch, man. I suggest all brothers to watch. I think it's on YouTube. It's called Night Journey. When it was basically a slave that was going from plantation to plantation, teaching brothers to read, man. That shit was beautiful. And my favorite part of the movie, man, it was a lot of brothers right there And that shit heavy, man, when you just think about it, because being in the spirit, because that was a rare thing for Jake to read. Like, you know about Yahweh Shai, you know about the power, you know it's a connection to you and the Heavenly Father, but you lost, man. But it was a point, man, Jake used to have like a piece of paper, like just one precept. You know, it's a half of one story, the next half, and they used to read that shit. And Jake, when Night John came, that motherfucker, he said, Elijah. He said, what? He said, teach these brothers how to read. It was a beautiful story because it was like a candlelight over his head, though. Then he started reading. He was kind of struggling, but it just shows you that was like those baby steps. You know what I'm saying? He led up into those different men. It was the commandment keepers and things like that, all up into elder our business. Yeah. Now why the scripture say, wait, they ain't gonna run up there reading. So you was doing baby steps, they could barely read in the time of slavery, but now fast forward, now we running. You know, because now we have the complete understanding of what's going on, man. You know?
All things.
Beautiful.
Back to Lamentations 3 and 32. But though he caused grief,
though he caused grief, again, slavery. But again, even in the midst of that grief, you got it.
yet we have compassion.
So even then, even though Jake had a whole Bible, if you just had the book of Exodus and slavery, if you could just tear that out. Like, you know, that's what they used to do, bro. Do the history, man. Real shit. They used to tear out the pages. You gotta read them motherfuckers one at a time, bro. Real talk. If somebody could just tear the Bible, because if you get caught with it, then you get put to death. Because again, when you get the inspiration of the Bible, what it's going to do is just going to ramp up your faith, and basically it's going to make you move into action.
I gotta bring this out. This is Judith, the 5th chapter. I'm gonna start at 17. The point is at 21. It says, and while they sin not before their power, they prosper.
They sin not before their power, we prosper, man. Look at the time of Solomon. You know, you got it.
Because the Most High that hated iniquity was with them. Mm-hmm. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
We were destroyed in many battles, very sore. And the reason why, because we lost that connection to the Heavenly Father. And again, the MO, same thing over here in the Western Hemisphere. Gad and Reuben was getting down, bro. Gad and Reuben was getting down upon Esau when he was over there. But guess what? This nigga, he was worshiping the earth. Nigga was worshiping the wind. So the Lord put the spirit on Esau to create what? The Gatling gun. You know? You got it, huh? That's why I said they was destroyed in many battles. Because Jake was getting down, but as soon as that Gatling gun came down, what happened? Jake got mowed down. And it didn't take a lot. It probably took 20 battles to say, hey man, then all of a sudden, you know, when they see them coming, they run, and Esau still hawking down, man. Yep. Sick, man. But you got it, bro.
And were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemy.
Yes, because even when you go back to 70 AD, you know, our temple, you know, cast down, but even then we was over to a different land, certain the African things like that in different parts of our land. And even now, where we at? We over here in the Western Hemisphere, man. This not the original land of righteousness that we really supposed to dwell. You know, but you got it, bro.
It's jumping down to verse 20. Now, therefore, because the brother was also going into the fact that, the point the brother was making on the fact that Esau had to give us that slave Bible.
Yeah.
All right, with that, this jumps out towards more. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people,
and if I make, that's like a sense of urgency. Yeah. Now, therefore, now my governor, you know, basically putting you on game, bro. Because you know, all these nations, even though they might be playing bullshit with you, they know what's up, man. You know, these niggas that you go to the gas station with every day, they know what's up, man. They get to a point. The ones that really know what's up, they try to be cool with you. You know, hey, what's up, brother? Even in the kingdom of heaven, we might break them off a little something. Yeah. You know, and I ain't talking about break them off salvation, but break them off a piece of land in the concubine, man. You know?
Hey, Jake drop a piece of rare metal on him and it changed his whole family life. You feel me?
But that's how you know, because we was talking, I think I was talking to the brother Yeshaya on the side, you're going to know the difference between the righteous ruling and the wicked ruling, man. Because these different heathens, they're going to love us, man. Even though we'll rather be feared than loved, but it's going to get to a point, after a certain point of time, the nations are going to love serving us, man. Because the reason they're going to see the benefits of doing it. That's like you working for somebody good. You know what I'm saying? I've been working for so-and-so for 35 years, man. You never did me wrong. You know, he did give me, you know, I did do something wrong. I tried to steal some copper one time. He did get on my ass that time, but besides that, you know, that's how it's gonna be.
If I could add, because in this society, you look at Esau as a ruler. The ruler's constantly out to get you. He's looking to get pass judgment against you. Hey, we gonna kick ass the first 1,000 years just to establish and give the understanding of what righteousness and what justice look like. But righteousness, look this man. But in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to see that we expect righteousness. We're not looking for you to do right or looking for you to do wrong. No, we just expect righteousness. Right is right and wrong is wrong. That's just it, man. So we're not going to go out our way. When we see wickedness, we're going to jump on it and pass the righteous judgment.
And it's going to get to a point how the king, because niggas don't know how the kingdom of heaven going to work. It's going to get to a point in the kingdom, it's going to be different nations coming to us. They going to be snitching on each other, man. You know?
Hoping to get what? Hoping to get a little pity.
You know what I'm saying?
The true brown nose. Yeah. Brown nose are going to actually possibly do you. Really, it ain't, but it possibly could do you some good in the kingdom.
Man, it's gonna do. Hey, man.
Snitching.
Make sure you get him a concubine, bro.
Hey, give him something.
Get him something, man. He'll come out with something, you know, because it's gonna be light to us, bro.
Good.
We're gonna show you, you know, we're gonna show you emphasize how to rule, bro, and royalty and righteousness, man. You gotta go. All
right, verse 20.
Go back
all right, it says, "Now therefore, my Lord, governor, if there be any error in this people, if they sin against their power, let us consider that this should be their ruin.
Yeah, so
and let us go up, and we shall overcome them."
Yeah, so once you get separated from your Yahweh Shema Shai, then you can take, and that's why even when you go into the from the slave trade earlier, it wasn't just Esau. It was Ham and Elam, man.
Okay.
You know, because at the same time, even some of our people, they even sent some of Jake over on the slave trade. But at the same time, it was all the inspiration of the Lord, because the reason why they knew that we wasn't connected to the power. You know? You got it, though. You see on that?
Verse 21, that's it. It says, "But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by."
Now, when you go into that, be there no iniquity in that nation, basically, it's really talking about the elect. You know, because amongst the elect, it's no blemishes, man. You know, that's why it even says that. He even says that in Saint, man. Read that again.
"But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by."
That Psalms the 32nd chapter, call out Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, "Blessed is he whose sin have not been imputed to him." Basically, the Lord have gave us a clean slate, because we trying to do right. I ain't no brothers up there saying they keep the law perfect. But brother, try. You know what I'm saying? Even then, like even when you pop your woman, you gotta take a shower, no matter how late it is. But sometimes the feel of the Lord will come on you, man. But at the same time, that's why the Lord did the sacrifice. You know, basically, he didn't put the law of Moses on top, because it's a heavy burden, man. Jake don't really, you know, it's a lot of things that go to the law that you can just really get put to death off just for GP, man. Picking up sticks on the Sabbath. You pick up your car on the Sabbath. You cook on the Sabbath. Ain't no talking, man. They coming to your abode, and they see you cooking this the Sabbath. They gonna bring you out in the middle of the city, man. So you can't put that burden here in this lifetime. That's why we lean upon Yahweh Shai. Going back into Matthew the 1st chapter, guess what? He will save his people, what? From their sins, man. That's why the elect is what? Sins have not been imputed unto them.
I mean, because like that's why the name Yahweh Shai is so critical with these Edomites, man. That's why they hid the name and gave you Christ or whatever other form of name that was off. Because they knew that through that name, all right, your sins could be forgiven. See that? So by you calling Yahweh Shai, now you have access to his blood. That blood that covers your sins. Seeing that we live in a society that's really sitting around your ass going off.
Yeah.
You're sinning every day, man. You don't know it. Jake don't fucking know it, but how can we be forgiven for all these sins that are laid in the midst of us in a corrupt land? You know, how can you be forgiven? I'm trying to say, if you cannot atone for that. So now you need someone to atone for those sins. That way your house shot comes into play, man.
Because I don't see none of these people with their own farms and a land. If you do got one, let me know, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, even if you do that, it tells us that in the book of Hebrews that the law of sacrifice is done away with. Why? Because Yahweh Shah was that ultimate sacrifice, man.
You be going off. You righteous and sacrificing right now. You honestly, you be going off.
But to finish off, it says, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua defend them in their power. Yahweh Shem Yahushua be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
You see, yeah, let's go ahead and hop on them now before they get close to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But guess what? Their process have already started. It's too late, Esau. Because Esau knows once we were separated from the Heavenly Father, it was only a matter of time for us to fall. That's why, again, they had to, it was like a plate ready to say, all right, let's go ahead and make this move. Yeah. Because again, that what happened with, even in the time of the Babylonian Empire. The nation of Israel is basically a key upon the planet Earth. Because whoever have these people under subjection, guess what? They're going to be in rulership. You know, again, going back into the Babylonian, the Syrian Empire from the Greeks, you know, all the way up even into the Romans, you know, even the Byzantine Empire, Jacob was on top, you know.
Like the Ark of the Covenant down there, you know. Love it go, hey, if handled in the proper way, hey, it can bring nothing but blessings. But handled in the wrong manner, it can only bring curses and death, man.
That's it. But that's a sign to show that who's in rulership upon the planet Earth, man. You know, that was it on that? Yeah, that was it. Go back into the
Back in Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 31, for the Lord will not cast off forever, but though he cause grief, yet he will have compassion according to the multitude of his mercy.
Yes, he says, though he caused grief, again, the nations did hop on us. They did whoop our ass for a matter of time, but what? You got it?
It says, yet we have compassion according to the multitude of his mercy.
It says, yet shall ye have compassion according to the multitude of his mercy, which is talking about what? This word coming out, man. Because the Lord, people think the Lord having compassion and mercy is, yeah, here you go, $20, Zaki. Now I'm saved. You know, you give a nigga $10, I'm saved, man. I'm straight. You know, what I'm gonna do now? No, man. That you really believing in that mercy came in the form of this word getting pushed forth out and you believing in it and actually walking in it, man. You know? Because again, once you don't walk in it, or once you be removed from it, then Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to pounce on your ass, man. You got it, huh?
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath.
Yeah, so the Lord, he didn't put us in this situation to do us away with forever. No, he did this because we moved him around. That's why it says, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's a power that changes not. You know, basically mean he's not going to change his word. But it also says, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Once you go back into what the nation of Israel have been through, if any other nation would have been through it, they would have been extinct, man. But guess what? We have the heart of the Lord in us, man. And that's why Jake kept on going and living through things like slavery, the international slave trade. They lived through things like the persecution during the Maccabees. You know, they lived through things like the damn crack pandemic. The reason why, because it's a divine spirit upon them.
Got some for you real quick. Got it, bro. Lamentations 3 and 22. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed. Because his compassion fail not.
Yeah, it says it is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed. So it's really Yahweh Shem Yahushua while we still alive today, man. You got a real, bro, you know, this is the valley of the shadow of death, man. We got chemtrails getting sprayed. You breathe in gasoline. There's fluoride in your water. You know, if it was upon Esau plains, Jake would have been dead at 15 years old. But the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the Lord, you know, pushed us past that, man. Even that nigga Boosie said, if you make it to C25, nigga, you are OG. Showing you that damn Jake, life is short here, man. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing the elect back to life, man. Our life is going to be extended into forever and beyond. And these are the things that we're looking for. You got it, bro.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
It's just going back into what you just pulled out earlier. It says you was basically going to get put into a slavery or a bad position because you provoked the Lord. You know, you had your Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you had the most. Now you ain't had a bad bride. You had the most beautiful. There's a difference between a beautiful and gorgeous bride and a bad bride. You had the most gorgeous lady upon the block, but you chose a crack-headed bride. That's like you, instead of you choosing your Yahweh Shai, you chose Allah or damn Buddha. Because nigga believe in anything now, man. Especially niggas in jail. You know, a nigga in jail, he get in trouble, he'll convert to be a Muslim just for fucking protection. You know?
I ain't think Allah did it.
Yeah, now you think Allah saved me from the floods. Yeah, nigga, you stole, nigga. You should have took that DP, nigga, you know? But at the same time, even though all that shit wicked, at the same time, it's like a cop-out for your wickedness, man. And that's what these other religions is. When this Bible sets you up for a standard, man. You got it.
Come. For you provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to the Most High.
And not to the Most High. So you worshiping the creature more than the Creator, man. You got it.
Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that bought you up, and ye have grieved, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
Yeah, so you basically pissed the Lord off by going into the opposite way, man. You pissed the Lord off by going into the ways of the heathen. You got it.
For when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you,
And it's like wisdom, you know, like a woman looking out for you. You know, your daddy, man, you know, you better clean your daddy. He said this morning, you know, and Israel always had gotten that talk, man. But only the elect actually hearkened unto it, while the rest of Israel took it light. You got it.
she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion.
Yeah, they see that dwell about Zion, man. Basically the ones that dwell in this truth. You got it.
The Most High hath brought upon me great mourning.
Yeah, the Lord have brought upon me great mourning. All the hell that they go through, and that's why a lot of, especially, that's why I love music like in the 60s, especially like blues, because they can sing their mourning, man. And they tell their personal stories of things going on and things like that. It just shows you the power and the pain that went through Israel, man. And sometimes the only way they can confess it or profess it is through singing, man. And music's supposed to have some type of feeling of soul to it. That's why music suck now, man. Nigga ain't been through shit, you know. You gotta know. That's it. You got.
I said, why we singing now?
Yeah, we singing out. Jake still feeling singing their soul, man. Jake been. Jake get pain.
Yeah, Jake used to sing about pain, and Jake would admit his wickedness, like a wicked nigga like Bobby Womack.
Bobby Womack.
Tell you, hey man, I back those, hey man, Lord, kill this nigga, man. You know?
I wish he didn't trust me, but he repeated. He had that song. I wish he didn't trust me so much, because even then, once he go into that story, man, he ended up popping. Yeah, Sam Cooke's wife, but guess what? The bitch was the wicked one because he left her for her niece. You know, so, you know, there's a lot of BS and crazy things in Hollywood, but guess what? All those people we just named, they really need to have a shot. You know, we all need, everybody, Israel as a whole, need to have a shot. That's why Paul said all Israel shall be saved. And that's going to come true. But the elect is going to be saved on this first round, man. You got it.
For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them.
Yes, I have saw the captivity which the everlasting power have brought upon us. You got it?
With joy did I nourish them.
Yeah, with joy did I nourish them. Now, what is that talking about, that joy being nourishing them? This word, Papa Kushar, brother said, when you receive this word, receive with gladness. I think it's like, receive this word with gladness, Papa Kushar. Read it again, huh?
Come. This is Baruch 4:11. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning.
Yes, because ultimately, you know, for lack of better words, the Lord brought us up in the righteousness with this word, again, the law, statutes, and commandments, but Jake refused it, and we were sent away in mourning. You got it?
Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate.
That's pretty much on it. Give me what you got real quick.
But that also, that's indicative of what's going on right there in the land now. That's why the land won't yield its strength unto Esau. That's why they be bringing everything in, man. That's crazy. You read that back end part?
Come. Come. Baruch 4:12. Let no
Because that's the land of Israel speaking as a mother. All right, because you got to remember, we were brought forth from the waters of that particular landmass, man, from that region. Okay?
Let no man rejoice over me, a widow, and forsaken of many.
And forsaken of many, why? Because the people who were cast out of the land, you got
Who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High.
So that goes into that Deuteronomy when it says, and they shall see it no more again. That's what that goes back to the fact that we were going to be pushed into lands far away from Israel, and it would be a pipe dream for us to go back into the land. See, all right, what you got?
Yeah, like that's why when this word came out, we was happy. You got it, bro.
This is Psalms 100, starting at verse 2. Serve the Lord Yahweh by Shema with gladness. Come before his presence with singing.
Yeah, that's it. It says, that spirit probably just talking about singing earlier, man. Man, read that again, huh?
Psalms 100 and verse 2. Serve the Lord with gladness.
Yeah, serve the Lord with gladness, man. Because again, a part of us preaching this word, this is how we know that we're one step closer into the kingdom of heaven. Okay?
Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord Yahweh by Shema, he is power. It is he that have made us, and not we ourselves.
Yeah, so it's Yahweh Shema that made us, not we ourselves. You got it?
We are his people and the sheep of his pasture.
So we are the sheep of the Lord's pasture, man. You know, not these other nations, not these other heathens. So even the Lord, how the way he deal with us, and even the tribulation that he put us through, he's dealing with us personally, man. Why? Because we his personal pasture. You got it?
Enter into his gates with thanksgiving.
Yeah, enter into the Lord's things with thanksgiving, because you're thankful to get back into his good gracious. You know? You got it?
And into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name.
Yeah, that's why we always say, call Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Because again, without these different names, you cannot be saved. What it says there in the book of Acts, I think that's the 3rd chapter on the one name.
Of the heaven, without thou must be saved.
Yeah, without must be saved.
Verse 5. For the Lord Yahweh by Shema is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations.
And that's just going back into the times of slavery. Never leave you. You gotta.
Just going back to what you're saying, you know, the Lord said he will never leave us nor forsake us, even until the end of the world, which goes to the end of his age. He's always kept his word with a remnant throughout the generations.
Because even just going back into your point, even throughout generation through generations, even in the time of slavery, the word was preserved, man. It ain't like the Lord just went away, even though he cast us out, we still had the remnant, you know, just a little bit, which actually is going to basically fully bring us to his good gracious, man. You ever see on that?
I got you. Yeah. This is Baruch 4. I'm going to start at 26. The point is at 29. My delicate ones have gone rough ways. My delicate ones have gone rough ways.
Matter of fact, start at verse 25. 24.
Baruch 4 and 24.
Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
If I may, that's why it says, wait, at the beginning, thy delicate one shall go rough ways. Read that again one more time.
All right, verse 24, it says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity.
Like the neighbors of Zion, there's these different heathens round about.
Being of approaching, like you were saying, like we going to another land and they,
You a nigga. Damn, bro. Nigga come in there, hurry up and buy spirit.
Yeah.
You know, it real shit, like, you watch a lot of these boys that do passport roles.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers really still be kind of, not judging, but they be finessing on the prices.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Showing you how even then, they know, like, you can identify Israelite anywhere. It's like a prized possession.
Yeah, they say there's a 24% uptick, like in prices of Americans going to these foreign lands, especially in these lands where it's Jake amongst Jake.
Yeah.
Jake be finessing the hell out of each other.
Yeah, they do. You got it.
It says, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
Yeah, so when the chariots come, man, it's going to be a marvelous and wonderful thing. They're going to know who Yahweh Shemiah Shah was coming to save. And you're going to say, it ain't going to be like an Elamite or an Ishmaelite that's going to be on the chariot. No, it's strictly going to be Israel. You got it, bro.
Verse 25, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon thee from your power, Yahweh Shemiah Shah.
Right there, it says, my children suffer patiently, man. Now, ultimately, you ain't going to be in this hell too much longer, man. You know? That's why, you know, patience possesses your souls. You got it.
It says, my children suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh Shemiah Shah, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction.
Yeah, shortly thou shalt see his destruction. What it says, happy that he that shall see the downfall of his enemy. The fall of his enemy, man. You got it?
Yeah, it said dancing in blood.
Yeah.
He's trying not to be too forward.
Look, it's two clippers now, man. It says, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck.
And shall tread upon his neck. And that's how you know it's going to be a yoke of iron upon you. But it's like us putting our foot on your necks, man.
Okay.
Like your foot is on our necks. Because guess what? Let's say if you don't pay that bill, you're going to get a friendly reminder. And you're going to get a whole bunch of phone calls, man. Or a whole bunch of letters, man. You know? You got it all. Yeah, now you just sitting in the dark, man. Man, say playing Anthony Hamilton, man.
Verse 26, my delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemy.
Yes, the delicate ones is the nation of Israel, but we have gone rough ways. Basically, means we have deterred from the ways of life. You got it?
Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh Shemiah Shah.
Be of good comfort. Why? Because this word is coming out, but it says, cry unto Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Cry back into that power. You got it?
For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
You're going to be remembered of Yahweh Shemiah Shah, who brought these plans. Because once these bad things started going on, guess what? We didn't call upon Buddha. We once called upon Jesus Christ, but once you got a hold of that sacred name, that's who you called upon, because that was the direct line into the heavens, man. That's a direct line into salvation. And then now it's up until Yahweh Shah to save you or not, man. You know? You got it?
It says, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you, for as it was your mind to go astray from the Lord, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Seek him 10 times more. Yeah, and with that, man, because again, once we separated from Yahweh Shemiah Shah, now we returning back unto him, now we seeking him 10 times more, because again, we sinned, we fell away, now it's the time to get back into his good gracious, man. Because at the end of the day, again, the things that go through us is well deserved. But at the same time, we still is trying to get on Yahweh Shemiah Shah good side. Yeah, so with that, I think we got more together. Finish what you said.
For he hath brought these plagues upon you, you shall bring these plagues upon you, shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation.
Yes, and the everlasting joy is going to be the kingdom of heaven. Because you're going to be living forever, brother. Because some niggas teach you're going to die in the kingdom of heaven, man. But guess what it says? Righteousness is immortal, man. So when righteousness being installed in you, guess what? Yahweh Shemiah Shah is going to have you living forever, man. You know? But again, we must first die in order for us to live forever. We died, we fell away from our heritage. Now we're being brought back to life in the midst of these dead bones in the valley of the shadow of death here in America, better known as Babylon the Great. So yeah, I can pray that this video is edifying. We give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. We want to get that honor to our apostle, this great millstone, and Shalom.
Shalom. Tonight.
Right now.